Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. I just nearly knocked Matthew out of his chair because it was so loud.
No, I was just fixing my hair.
Oh, okay. It was just
It's
simultaneous.
very important that I look prim and proper for the stream.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
That was a great hair flip, by the way.
I used to have much longer hair, not nearly as long as Lonzo, but I still have that habit of flipping my hair.
Matthew, I could see you with some glorious long locks.
See, I can't. Are the pictures? I need to see. I need to see pictures.
Have you ever seen the Fairly
some
Odd
really
Parents?
old pictures? I'll find them and show them at some point.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to post them or anything, but I would like to see them just because I'm thinking emo. That's what I'm. Aren't you thinking emo? That's what I'm getting. I'm
Not
getting
quite,
emo.
but
Okay, all right.
No, because I didn't really like hair over my eyes. It felt really annoying.
I'm just imagining Matthew in like a Nirvana cover band.
No, it definitely was nowhere near
not
that.
emo, but
By the way, welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night. Starting to get darker a little bit quicker, a little bit cooler outside right now. A little bit of a jacket weather. Nothing like taking a nice long walk with that special someone while listening to the Upstate Pulse, either on speakerphone or in your headphones or on the Odyssey app, which is free, by the way, which you can do. Or maybe you are at home sitting by the raging fire, which you should be, just taking it easy, and you're checking us out on Facebook, where we are live right now, where you can see myself, you can see the other people in the studio on Facebook at 1063 WORD, which is our primary channel. Also the Upstate Pulse, also Lonzo on Word, which is my personal channel. We also are on YouTube and Twitch at the Upstate Pulse. We also now we're on my Twitter, which is Lonzo on Word, and WRD's Twitter, and we're on Cameron's YouTube page, which is Dragon Pudding. So there we go. I covered them all. I won't do that again the rest of the show because
that was the rundown.
It was just
we got the rundown out of the way.
Yeah, you're supposed to tell everybody all the ways that they can do the things they can do, and I just did. Okay, multiple times, probably not happening. You can also text us at 71307. T2 is not with us tonight because he asked to not be with us tonight, and I'm not omnipotent, but I am generous with things, and I said, "Go forth, young man."
Would you say magnanimous?
Nah, that's I've already used my amount of big words, so I'm done with that for the day.
You've hit your quota?
Yes, I have. I have hit my quota. No more big words. Matthew is here, though.
I am here. Yes.
Wow, it's just amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and we're trying to come up with some things for Matthew to do for the Christmas karaoke special. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Sugar Trevor Cameron also here.
Hi.
There he is over there.
Ahoy.
Yeah. Some people get that, some people don't. You ever have a buddy who we don't talk politics here, and we're not going to, but you ever have a buddy who's on the other side of the aisle and you mention somebody who does a show that's on the other side of the aisle just to watch them get mad? Maybe it's just me.
I can imagine the reactions, just like that, the slow burning anger and like the twisting of the face and all that.
Oh yeah, it was worth it. And a lot of times people get mad and they don't know why. They've never actually watched the show or listened to the show. They just get mad by the mention of a name. I find that funny. I do. I really, really, really do. All right, so we're going to talk about South Carolina Comic-Con Junior in just a minute because that is tomorrow, and we would love to see you guys out there, and I'm sure Rob Young would also. Before we get to that, though, Christmas karaoke special is, I don't know, 6-7 shows away, something like that.
Holy crap, I never thought about
that. Yeah. Right around October, somewhere in October, I start thinking about the show. Believe it or not, after watching or listening to it, you may think that's not organized at all. But, I tried to organize it. I didn't say that I have an outline. I know.
It's like the Pirates Code. It's a guideline.
It is. I know when we're going to try to do things, it just doesn't always go that way. So Christmas karaoke special is coming up. Matthew is now on the show, and Matthew says he's not much of a singer, which is hard to believe with the depth, the bass in his
dulcet
voice.
tones of his voice.
Just never a thing that I've really been into.
But we are learning. See what the Christmas karaoke special is.
I'm gonna teach you to sing, kid.
There we go. Pappy Claus has chimed in. What the Christmas karaoke special is we take requests and we do songs. Christmas carols secular ones. Now we stay away from the religious ones because I don't want to commit what I would consider sacrilege, what some other people would commit. But the secular ones are fair game. So secular like Deck the Halls, I'll Be Home for Christmas, stuff like that.
Maybe it's cold outside. Oh no, that's not a.
Yeah, that cannot be done again or topped.
No,
that
stays in the vault.
Well, who knows? It might get replayed. This might be the one that gets replayed every year.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, it might. So anyway, so we do voices, and we just found out that that Matthew does a voice. We're not going to tell you what it is, though.
I have some good impressions.
Yeah,
but this one is definitely one of my favorites.
There you go. It's the one. It's what, with impressions, especially when you're doing parody songs, it has to be close enough where people go, "Oh, I know what they're trying to do," or "Oh my gosh, that sounds just like them," or somewhere in between. Not we have to convince you what they're trying to do, and we know where the standard is, the anything that Chris Evans does, and we know where the low bar is.
Anything that Tim Holcomb did.
Squire Tim's rendition of "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas."
It still haunts me at night.
Which was so bad it was amazing. So I mean, there you go.
I think we all just kind of stared at him. He was like in the other booth, and we were just looking at him.
Yeah, he even knew himself. He was like, "Please make me stop," and I just let him keep going.
Just let it go.
Yeah, I did because he wanted
content gold mine.
Yeah, he wanted me to stop it. And I'm like, I ain't stopping this. Let it go.
Sometimes when things are bad, they can be incredibly entertaining, and that was one of those moments.
You just described this entire show. On today's show, we're going to recap. I see Trey's up there already talking about She-Hulk. We're going to be recapping that, and we are going to recap Rings of Power. And Cameron and I watch Werewolf at night, and we really enjoyed it. We're going to be talking about that. We also, the Adult Happy Meal, as we talked about last week, is out. If you want to see an unboxing, if you will, of the Adult Happy Meal, Chris Evans and I went over to McDonald's during lunch this past week and got them. And I'll show you the box and the toy a little bit later on because I kept the box. And we're probably going to, I keep saying we're going to get to AI Takeover, and we haven't. But man, something just broke. And I heard a story that Lee read on my way in yesterday. And I was like, Lee, I need that story. And so he gave me the story, gave me some sound. We're not going to use the sound, but we are going to use the story. And he gave me several sources because that's what you do to make sure it's a legitimate story, having multiple sources. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some video games, Nerd Roundtable. And I will tell you, the Nerd Roundtable, the first question is sub versus dub. So prepare for that because Matthew and I had a conversation, and life is show prep. And because of that, I want to bring that onto the air. So, so we're going to be talking about that. But before we get to any of that, text line 71307. Chat with us on the Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. By the way, if you send us a message and I don't respond, it's not because I didn't want to. It's because maybe I didn't see it. Some of the channels don't show up on there. YouTube works. Facebook for 106.3 WRD definitely works. So pick one of those. Twitch works. And Twitter, I believe, works. I don't know. Someone send me something on Twitter and we'll see. So tomorrow is South Carolina Comicon. It is at the Convention Center, downtown Greenville, kind of downtown. I get it.
It's right outside of downtown.
It's on the outskirts.
They say it's downtown. It's like next to the airport. It's
the outskirts of downtown.
Yeah. You know where it is. You know where it is. It's had a couple of name changes, but it's a big building where they put stuff. But no, the Convention Center, come on down there tomorrow, 11 to 6 for South Carolina Comicon Junior. Now, if you've been to South Carolina Comicon, this one's, as Rob said, Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games and Comic-Con told us last week, it's about a quarter of the size of the normal one. So if you haven't been to a con, this is the one to go to. It's a starter con. It'll get you going, man, I want more. And then, when spring happens, you'll get more. So come on out there. And I can't say enough, if you are someone, especially in this day and age, post-COVID, and even some before that, where you just order a bunch of stuff online and you get it and go, wow, it's like I ordered from Etsy or something. That's not as big as I thought it was. Well, at South Carolina Comicon Junior, you can pick the stuff up. You can look at it. You can feel the weight. You can see if it's sturdy enough for you to buy. Yes, the heft. Heft is really, really, really strong. Let's see. Brantley says, I missed the beginning. What's up, Greenville? What's up, Brantley? You didn't miss much. You didn't. We were just talking about Christmas karaoke special, which we will get to eventually. Let's see. Mark says, guys, there needs to be a Christmas duet with Pappy and Christopher Walken. You know, that hasn't happened yet.
Has it not?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
I swear Pappy has done that with Walken at some point.
I don't think so.
I think he's done it with Kirk before, right?
I think it might have been a combination of the 4 or 5 of us, but I don't think there's been
It's never been like by themselves.
Yeah, it's been a straight up duet. That could be comedy gold. We'll check into that. Walken is not confirmed entirely, but it's possible. I'm also told, and I got to break down and do this eventually. He may be busy. That and I've heard Charlie James do a ton of voices. He can do some really good voices.
Oh, yeah.
I've
heard a few of them.
I'm just intimidated by Charlie.
Get me a duet with Charlie.
Yeah,
that's gonna go well.
Yeah, I'm intimidated by Charlie because of his talent. You know, I'm intimidated, and I don't like to work with people older than me. Although I think he and I are like the same age.
Yeah.
I'm making all these excuses, but I probably will ask him, and we'll just have like 25 people on the show because we can do that. Why not?
Or we could just have a few people and pretend that there's multiple people because we have multiple voices.
Well, we could do that.
Whoa.
We could do that. But we also
have multiple voices.
We also, some of us
we
have
do.
them in our heads at all times. We also technically we have 7 mics, 8 if you count the news booth. So we have 8 mics. And if it's in the building, everything is linked, so it's real time. It's not like pulling someone in from, so you could kind of everybody sing at the same time. So, which would be an awesome things of voice. Mark says Charlie does a great walk, and so does Chris. And 2 walk-ins. We've talked about walking in a winter wonderland, having 2 walk-ins doing that. And
that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of funny.
That would be the play if we get Charlie for this.
So if you're going to South Carolina Comic-Con Junior, it's only $15. You need to come over tomorrow, 11 to 6. If you see us, come up and say hi. I promise I'll say hi back. Not sure I'll say a whole lot after that, but I would. I mean, we can have a conversation. We're in a comfortable place. If you're going to come up there and talk to me about politics, probably not going to
You
have
can
a lot
always
to
just
say.
speak to his manager.
It's not that I don't have an opinion. I just don't like talking about that stuff in public. But when it comes to talking about all things nerd in public, I'll do that. Except if you come out and want to talk Nintendo, and Nintendo expert's over there.
I'm right here.
He's over there. That's not me.
Only talk to him about Nintendo.
Yes.
Only Nintendo. Nothing but Nintendo. I definitely have no other interests whatsoever.
That's right. That's all he does. And matter of fact, that's his nickname around the building. Hey, look, there goes Nintendo. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're talking She-Hulk, House of Dragon. No, we're not doing that because Tim's not here because he wanted to go. But that's fine. We're talking She-Hulk, Rings of Power, Werewolf at Night. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WRD. Continuing live on all of our social media. In other words, the show continues during the break. So if you're on one of those, you can still talk with us, and we'll talk to you and all that kind of fun stuff.
This will also be the first time in 2 years that Pappy won't be stuck in the North Pole.
Yes, he hasn't been allowed to be in the building because he's been away.
First with the Yetis, and then with John Carpenter's The Thing. The North Pole has some sort of normalcy now, just with less population.
Speaking of that, we'll be talking about the Violent Night trailer a little bit later too.
I feel like that's connected somehow.
It could be. I mean, things jog your memory. That's what they do. We have any texts? Matthew? We have any texts?
Bro?
Not really much.
Okay. We also are going to have less of an audience tonight, which we know.
Yeah.
Because South Carolina and Clemson are both playing in 10 minutes. So, I mean, that's how that goes. It's fine. It's football season. I get it. There are some people can only focus on one thing. I mean, what do you need your play-by-play for your game for? Turn us up. Then you're getting your nerd fix and your sports fix all at the same time.
There's a couple questions if we're going to stream on Rumble at any point like Charlie's doing, but I don't think so. We've already got kind of a lot of things.
I think generally that's more for, I mean, Isn't it more political?
I don't know. I'd never heard of Rumble until Charlie was streaming.
Here's what I do. What I try to do is try to stay away from politics.
Yeah.
Period. It's obvious, or should be obvious, which way I lean. But I'm not. I want to stay away. You guys get enough of that. You do, or I think you get enough
on
of that.
On this station. Yeah.
If you don't, then you're addicted to it. And
I was about to say, or just in general.
Yeah. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to smile. It's okay to go out and do something and not think about, that other stuff.
Yeah.
Whether your thing is fishing or hunting or video games or reading a book, it's okay to do all those things. Just don't. Well, actually, you could do all those things while listening to the Upstate Pulse. You absolutely could. Yep. While you're in your deer stand, you could have us in your earbuds while you're looking for them deer to come by.
So imagine if it's on speaker and the deer just hear Pappy, they start running. It's clear a forest that way.
I just went deer hunting before I got here. I was in Greece, but I was hunting deer though.
Was it in Thebes?
No, I wasn't in Thebes.
Or Thebes?
I wasn't in Thebes either.
Let's have fun in Greece.
I believe I was in Atticus.
I tell you, I used to rock a toga. Me and Socrates used to get down a bunch.
I've actually been to a toga party.
Too bad he got poisoned.
I went to a toga party once for fraternity. I don't drink though, so I mean, I just wrapped a sheet around me and went because I was supposed to. In a toga, it was. I mean, the bad part is I hadn't washed the sheet in a while.
Okay.
And then after I got done, I took it home, put it back. I took it to my dorm room, put it back on my bed, and went to sleep. So I mean,
what is wrong with you?
College. You're asking that question.
Yeah.
Just because I'm who I am, it's still college, dude. I'm sure there's a lot of things that you did in college that I'll never know and don't need to know. So, I mean, that's just
exactly
it's college.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it.
I have not played WrestleFest before, Trey, but I know someone who has a thing that has a bunch of arcade games on it, and it might actually have it on it. Possible.
You can feel free to come up and check. WrestleFest.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. The sun is starting to set on a beautiful Saturday night here in the upstate of South Carolina. See, this is why I'm showing you. See, this is why this kind of song right here should be played on the way out, because you're smoothing on your way out and you come back with energy. I didn't do that. You know why? Because I'm doing every stinking thing tonight because Tim wanted to go home.
I thought we were having like a stare down and we were about to
No, I was
just 6 shooters.
Keep it smooth here tonight.
There you go. He gets it. I was just trying to.
Can you just say it's high noon?
It's high noon.
It's actually not bad.
That was good timing too with the song. That worked perfectly. It really did. All right. So we're having fun on a Saturday night. If you want to
remember when I was a cowboy,
I wish I had as good of a voice as Matthew Mercer.
I know.
If you want to be a part of the show, text line 71307 or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. And just search through all of them until you see our faces.
Our pretty faces.
That's exactly what it is. All right. So
all this sexy on the screen.
If you have not yet watched She-Hulk, we's about to spoil you, because we did, and we haven't talked about the last 2 episodes because Rob was here and we were, busy doing other stuff, and so we didn't get to it. But definitely want to dwell on this last episode, which is the penultimate episode of season 1. Yeah, Chris taught me that word. Anyway, so it's the next to the last episode of season 1.
No, he didn't.
Let me have fun, okay? He might be listening, and he perked up and he smiled and was like, "Yeah, I did." I try to build my friends up. That's what I do. So anyway, there are still some people out there. I know an angry one who doesn't like She-Hulk, and I get it. I get it. But if you keep in mind that She-Hulk is geared for women, that's what it's for. And they say at the beginning, it is a woman's lawyer show. That's what it is. But she just happens to also be a Hulk. And in this episode, the Hulk thing comes into play. First of all, we get to see Daredevil finally. And I haven't seen enough of the, oh, they ruined Daredevil. He's not as serious as he's supposed to be. And have you seen any of that, Matthew?
I haven't seen much of it, no.
Cameron?
I feel like generally people have liked this interpretation. Everybody's just like, yeah, it's good to see a lighthearted Matt. He still feels like Daredevil, like the Daredevil from the Netflix series, but just, now he's not dealing with as much crap.
You may say he's a manho, but he was a manho in
he's always been.
Yeah, I mean that's that's just what he is. He gets around. And sympathy for the blind guy or
for the devil.
Exactly.
I normally prefer a little bit more serious Matt Murdock, but at the same time, it's the MCU, and I kind of expect him to be that way.
Well, the other thing is
with everything else,
he's in a sitcom.
Well, people
That's
are worried, and I get it. They're worried that the reboot is not going to be as dark as the original on Netflix, and maybe it won't be as dark, but I liked Kingpin and Hawkeye. I did, and that was based on the comic books. So.
I feel like they'll do a good job.
So do I.
Especially after seeing this because this was a chance to see him in a completely different light, but they still kept enough of who he was to make him recognizable as Daredevil. So, also, the fact that he just strolled into the courtroom, kind of kicked Jen's butt, and then just left, and then got her number.
Well, that's true. I mean, one of the things about the comic book and about the Netflix series is he's a lawyer first, and he's a good lawyer. And I love the line during the battle with them and the frog dude and Leapfrog and his minions, where he says, "I just watch a lot of lawyer shows."
Yeah, just
I like that line because listener, you might be one of those that watches a lot of lawyer shows and thinks lawyer stuff. So it's not unusual to hear someone say that sort of thing. But I liked it. I even liked her hulking out at the end and punching the screens down, and Intelligentsia, isn't that?
Yeah.
It shows up and makes her look bad and says she stole her powers. Actually showed some footage that Todd took. Man,
Josh.
Doesn't matter. He looks like a Todd to me. I hope Todd, Josh, and here's what I think. And so season finale's next week. You guys tell me if you think I'm wrong, because it could be. I think all the people in the hood, under the hoods, are all the guys that showed up for her dating app. I think it's all those guys. You don't think so?
You think it is?
You don't think so?
I mean, it's obviously the one guy that's like a major client there, the Todd
guy.
The
guy who just bought the Wakandan spear. Yeah. I think that guy.
I think the other thing is I think the tie-in maybe is like the leader used these idiots.
Probably.
Maybe.
But it wouldn't shock me if they all pull off their hoods and it's all those guys.
David Otunga, you too?
Yes, especially David Otunga.
He's always a bad guy.
As long as Jen's cousin isn't one of those guys. Because
I was getting paid a lot for this.
That wouldn't shock me either.
What are we doing, guys?
Yeah. Sorry, Jen, but they paid me a lot of money. You wouldn't let me sell your merchandise, so here we go. No, he's under there because he wanted some of that blood. See, it's a possibility.
Yeah, it was the cousin all along.
It's definitely,
what's his name? Chad, something.
I'm not saying that he's the Hulk King, but
he's the mastermind behind all of this.
It wouldn't shock me if he was one of the guys under the hood, though. So her hulking out at the end and breaking the fourth wall by just turning and looking at the screen. You knew things were going to go bad when she's all happy and she's sitting there and she's like, "Why are you guys still here?
Why is the episode not over?"
Yeah, why is the episode not over? It's like, oh, okay, all right. The question is, I guess we'll find out next week. It's probably going to be a cliffhanger more than likely. Do you guys see, and this not just the guys in the studio, but people at home, do you see She-Hulk being renewed for season 2?
I could see it either way.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's probably going to depend on how much money they spend on the special effects. As far as the story goes, I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. And it's setting up things for down the road. All right. We got time. Let's go ahead and talk about House of the Dragon, then we'll take a break and House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, and then we'll come back and we'll talk Werewolf at Night, which I really enjoyed. All right, so we finally have seen some things in Rings of Power, including they're in Mordor. Didn't see that coming.
What?
Adder has renamed the Southlands Mordor, which was, obviously that was on its way.
Why did it do that in the text screen, my lord?
Yes, it changed to Mordor, which is Zach on Facebook. Yes, he's up there. Says Daredevil doing the walk of shame. He's pretty ticked about that.
He didn't seem very ashamed when he walked by.
I don't understand why he's doing the walk of shame. Just hit the rooftops. It's just for and why is the shoe still off? Put your shoes on, dude.
He just thought it was funny, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Although, yeah. I mean, he had to keep the suit on because if not, he would have
have anything else.
Yeah, he didn't have his cane with him or anything, so he had to do that. So, also in Rings of Power, Galadriel mentions Celeborn.
Yes, finally.
We've been wondering where he was.
You've been wondering a lot.
Yeah, where's Celeborn? Because
every episode, it's just like, well, where's Celeborn?
Yeah, because
where's Celeborn?
Her and Halbrand, having some eyes and stuff at each other.
You mean her and Sauron?
Yeah, we'll see. And
he's gonna put a ring on that finger.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We will see if
Sauron, he puts a lot of rings on some fingers.
We'll see if Halbrand is indeed. I don't know. Maybe Halbrand will change.
He's going to Linden.
He's going to change his name to Celeborn.
He's not going to do
He's going to change his name to Celeborn.
Celeborn's probably still alive and just out there somewhere.
Yeah, because she hasn't seen the body or anything. Also, I like that Mordor is born, but the people who were in the Southlands are going somewhere else.
This old Numenorian colony. I don't know.
Yeah.
On the Pelennor Fields.
Yeah, I don't know what that could be. And some people were mad about that. I've read some things. Oh, they just wanted to name drop. No, someone has to make that place. That place. We know that place exists right on the border of Mordor.
Oh, God.
I didn't do it on purpose.
On the border of Mordor.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Start going into song or something.
Yeah, but I was thinking Swedish Chef. Border, Mordor. Anyways.
We're in the border of murder.
Yes, exactly. So we got that to look forward to. The fact that it looks like Isildur is dead, but he's not because plot armor.
What?
That's what plot armor is.
But that building fell on him.
Yeah. Also, at the end of it, we saw Durin's Bane as they went further down in after Elrond got kicked out.
Yep.
Durin got kicked out, and so I didn't think that Mithril would actually help them. I thought it was some kind of ruse to get to the Mithril, but when they put the piece of Mithril down and it cured the leaf, I guess it does work that way. But Durin's Bane is down there just waiting. That Balrog is waiting. But I do believe, and I pointed this out to Cameron, that Durin's dad is also named Durin. And I don't remember the lore to find out if Durin's Bane was actually for Durin the King, which I think it might have been.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the old guy goes bye-bye thanks to the Balrog, and the young one survives. I don't know. Or maybe they all
really want the young one to live.
Yeah, I do, because he's awesome.
He is.
He is really good. He is.
Maybe they have the great-grandfather Durin like in a nursing home, and the nursing home gets knocked out. I don't know what a dwarven nursing home looks like.
It's a lot of rocks. So it's I love him, and I love Nori, and the witch sisters, whatever those things, they're freaky.
Oh, they were wicked.
Yes, and they actually use magic, something that you don't see a lot of in Lord of the Rings. You hear about it, but you don't see that much of it. Really. Mm-hmm. All right. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right on 106.3 WRD, and we come back. We're talking adult Happy Meals. Why? Because I went, and I'm going to show you the box and the toy, and it's freaky. And if you want to be a part of the show, text line 71307 or hit us up on social media. Bunch of stuff like that up there now. We're going to address that during the break and when we get back.
See, Mark's theorizing that Elrond is
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, including Cameron, and I hope it's not true just because I want him to be wrong. It doesn't mean it's not pointing towards it.
You know, Dad,
No.
you're so
Here's what I
supportive.
like. Here's what I like. I like swerves. Okay, when everything is pointing to someone being out, including look on his tunic, there's a ring. Wow, how else is he supposed to hold the thing up?
Okay,
I mean,
that's just dumb.
yeah,
but
but people are look on his armor. There are rings everywhere. Okay, I mean, it's like you're looking for something because you are, and you want to be. See, I'm the one who said he was Sauron before everybody else.
you know, honestly, this is just me getting back at you for saying that Vecna was Barb for like months.
It would have been awesome if it was. You know, it would have been. It would have been great.
Who says it isn't?
People would have been so excited if Vecna was Barb.
That's not even applicable. I'm so glad I keep saying that Halbrand is Sauron just to mess with you.
But if Halbrand is Sauron, it's going to be so obvious. I think it's going to hurt the show. I want that twist. I want that swerve. I want people to go, oh wow,
they
I didn't see that
do
coming.
a swerve that people thought Adar was
Right,
Sauron.
right. And Sauron's supposed to be able to hide in plain sight. That's why Sauron is Nori or Poppy. It's Poppy. All along, it's Poppy.
Yep.
She shouldn't be able to pull that cart by it. Well, she don't have to worry about it now.
God, I had to carry that cart for miles.
All those carts are burnt up now.
Yes, but my plan worked. Lord Sauron, are you sure that was the most optimal plan? Couldn't you have just, killed him at any point? Well, yeah, but crap.
All right.
I
Zach
got
says
carried
they don't
away.
have to do anything. They're making up most of the plot out of thin air, not following Tolkien's Legendarium because they can't.
They don't have the rights to
They
it.
don't have the rights to it. So because of
Yeah.
that, they can't follow it directly. You can follow it to a degree, but you can't follow it all the way.
Yep.
Let's see. Zach says Trey Davis, Netflix, Daredevil is better than anything in MCU, and MCU is nothing but lightheartedness and jokes. Need something on the other end to counter that, like DC would do. He didn't say that. I did. Let's see. Stranger Things is the only current hot property where the quality has remained top tier. I disagree. I think Witcher is excellent. But, I like the books. I like the games. I like the show. Is there anything else streaming that we just can't? I mean, that's not Marvel or Disney that we watched that we've really liked. It's been The Boys, but we can't get through that
No.
because it's too much. It's just too much.
Mm.
Welcome back to the Upstate Pulse. Alonzo here, Matthew here, Cameron here. T2 is not here, which is why I'm behind the board. I'm not angry. Just, I like being talent some nights instead of just being everything. But that's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm
You're every vocation.
No,
It's all in
A
you.
man of many talents.
Yeah, here's what I'm doing because I really don't care. I just hope he's listening. And I hope it bothers him that he's not here.
You're a true bard. You're a jack of all trades.
If you say so. Speaking of Jack, let's talk about Jack Russell and Werewolf at Night. If you haven't seen it yet, we're going to spoil a little bit. All right. So Werewolf at Night is, Zach's about to get angry probably again. But Werewolf at Night is a comic book adaptation on Disney Plus. It's a one-off thing, but it's based on like some of the really good black and white horror movies, like The Wolfman or The Creature from the Black Lagoon, stuff like that. Did I watch those live? No, I'm not that old, but I did watch the reruns of all that stuff.
You haven't?
My mom loved it, and so we would watch those all the time. That's why Lon Chaney, one of my favorites, Lon Chaney Jr., definitely one of my favorites. Has nothing to do with the fact that, yes, my name and that I'm called by my family is Lon. So, when you don't see your name anywhere and you see an actor or actors having that name, you're drawn to them going, oh, this is cool. That guy's got my name. And he's a werewolf. And it's awesome. So this is built in the vein of all those things. Of course, there are Easter eggs all over the place. So there's a thing called the Bloodstone, which has been in a ton of comic books. It's been around for a really long time because Marvel also has a bunch of horror comics. They've had those forever. And the guy who had the Bloodstone, which was a major guy in the comics from everything that I looked up, has died. So they bring in a bunch of monster hunters, and the one who wins gets the Bloodstone, which is really, really cool. Again, it's all in black and white. They let them go to fight a monster. The monster they have to fight has the Bloodstone on them, which weakens them. And it turns out the monster they have to fight is Man-Thing, which is he's never been seen on live TV or movies or anything. Ted. Yes, Ted. And one of the hunters just happens to be Ted's buddy, and he's there trying to get him out of trouble because he always has to get him out of trouble. And it turns out that Jack, is Ted's buddy, just happens to be a werewolf. And the effects are really good. Parts of it are hokey on purpose, though, because they want to harken back to the sets and things that were back in, the 40s, 50s, whatever, when those movies were made. So, and they are authentic. I was watching things.
There are some parts that aren't very hokey.
Yeah, and then there are parts that are pretty bloody. And you also have to keep in mind when you do a black and white movie, they have to use different kinds of makeup to make sure things show up more. So you can imagine that's why some like Jack has a bunch of stuff on his face and things like that to make it stand out. And when he becomes a werewolf, you can also see the markings on his face. But I'm not going to spoil the entire thing. I will tell you that I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And there's one thing that I didn't catch, Cameron, that maybe you'll catch when she gets the Bloodstone. It's playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it turns into color. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Remember, Wizard of Oz was in black and white till she got to Oz.
Yes.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Then, so that was her. Okay. Yeah.
So when she sat there, then it slowly, the red color covered her, and then everything became color. It was
a really nice effect.
Too. It was. It's a one-off thing. It's really good. They're introducing monsters again, which they've tried to do a couple times, but I think the way they did it this time is it's really, really good. And I think if you it's that Halloween season, you're going to see us in full Halloween gear in 2 weeks. Yes. So it is 2 weeks. What's the day? Yeah, 2 weeks. We'll be doing our Halloween thing. So check it out if you get a chance. Also want to remind you.
3 weeks.
Is it 3 weeks?
Yeah, 29th.
Okay. Yep. All right, 3 weeks.
21 days.
Want to remind you before we go to break that, again, South Carolina Comicon Junior is tomorrow. We would like to see you out there. Rob Young would like to see you out there. You would like to see yourself out there, even if you're on the fence thinking, maybe I'll go, maybe I won't. It's
just $15 to get in.
Yeah, and it's 11 to 6.
Don't sit on a fence; it's painful.
Yes, especially the pointy fences.
Yes,
you don't want to do that. So 11 to 6, or the electrified fences. I mean, yeah,
or both.
Yeah,
that just sounds very dangerous.
It does, but there's some people out there.
Intrusions and electrocutions.
Some people out there sitting on those fences. So don't sit on that fence. Come to South Carolina Comicon Junior tomorrow. You will see us at some point. I would tell you last year at South Carolina Comicon Junior, I got separated because some people wanted to go here, some people wanted to go there, and I wanted to go somewhere else. And I was standing there sending out texts, hey, I'm over here. Where are you at? And a listener come up and said hi. And met some listeners right in the middle of Comic-Con. That was the actual Comic-Con, which was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So come on out, and I guarantee you there'll be some more famous radio people there, including Matthew and Cameron. And maybe T2.
I'm a famous radio person?
Yeah, I'm just a guy running the board, which means it's time to take a break. When we come back, we'll squeeze something else out while we finish up the hour. By the way, text line 71307. Text line is quiet. I get that Carolina and Clemson are both playing, but send us a text and just say hi. Funny that. Hither and thither. Hither and thither. Hither and thither. I forgot to show the box. You remember to show the
You need to share the
yeah.
box. What is in the box? How much what
Am I
is in
gonna
the box?
lose the boo box
Storage
again?
Wars.
I will tell you, I'm up 2-0 on Rob Brown right now.
Yes, Rob Brown shall be dealing with the boo box soon.
Not necessarily.
What?
Here's a guarantee: I won't lose this week
That's good at
Oh.
least.
because we only have 2 more games that we differ on, and those are on the air right now. So even if I get those wrong, that means we tie.
By the way, that is freaky. The screen over there that's just like digitized so badly. Look, it's Andy Reid.
Oh, that commercial is great. The commercial is great. He's drawing mustaches on people as they sleep. Watch Patrick Mahomes is going to walk up and he's going to see. Watch him throw the pin away. Watch him throw the pin away really quick. It's so good. It is so good.
That's fantastic.
You should hear it. I mean, it's well acted. Let's see. No anger here on this.
Those wrestling picks. We already.
No, it happens tonight.
Oh, that happens tonight.
Yeah, it
Okay.
actually starts in 10 minutes. That's what we did last
Okay.
week. So whoever's facing a wall, it'll be next week.
Yep.
Got it.
It's going to be Tim again.
Oh yeah.
Tim is like me somewhere else. Some of those picks, I'm like, Tim, what are you doing? Okay. I don't care. It's not me. So
Well, one thing I will say to
I wish it
satisfy,
would be Rob Brown.
I know, to satisfy the people.
Well, he picked on our show on the Fan Upstate. I make sure that I do a segment on the Fan Upstate every Thursday called Lonzo's Fight Club. We made sure he picked on there. I told him he had no choice. So he says he's down. He says he knows everyone wants him on that wall.
Oh yeah.
And we're trying to figure out, we need bullet cam. We absolutely do. Someone needs to be, and Tim has a gimbal. I don't know if anyone has a GoPro. If we had a GoPro, it would probably work better.
No.
But Tim's got a gimbal. I just like saying gimbal. I also like to say Tim's got a gimbal.
Gimbal is a fun name.
Yes.
Gimbal.
Tim's got a gimbal. So
It's not quite a nimble gimbal, but
whoever loses can hold the gimbal, which will have the phone, which can be locked into the Facebook.
I feel like there should also be a sign saying help.
If I lose, I'm just going to tape my phone to my forehead and do it that way. I don't need no gimbal.
Are we talking like 2-sided tape on your forehead, or
Yeah. Hair is overrated.
and like just like a line of like hair
Rip it off.
that's just ripped?
Well, Mark, our House of the Dragon expert isn't here today.
It would appear that our House of the Dragon expert is not present.
I hate that the Clemson game isn't coming in clear. Really, I hate that it's not coming in clear.
How will we survive?
I just want to.
Can you tell what any?
Yeah, it's 0-0. Yeah. I can see the score. I know it's 0-0. That's a nice beard.
That is a very nice beard. Like how you and I are just like seeing the exact same thing.
Like father, like son.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Alonzo here, along with Matthew and Cameron. I looked at the Facebook page and saw a question. All right, so Zach is asking a question: is Bray showing up tonight? I believe he is, but who's he showing up as, and who's he showing up with? Bunch of stuff on SmackDown last night, so he's definitely showing up. But is he showing up as a Fiend? Is he showing up as the leader of the Wyatt family? I think he's going to be a combination of several of those. But I do believe that that Alexa Bliss is going to be with him. There's rumors that Karrion Kross might be with them also. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, something that we did over the week is, we talked about this last week, is adult Happy Meals are out. They actually are out. They came out Monday. And Chris and I went over to McDonald's and we got an adult Happy Meal. And by the way, revamped McDonald's, man. It was, as Chris said, McDonald's is bougie now. It's it's all open and you can like see up to the ceiling and everything. The one down on Woodruff Road is the one we went to. And I haven't been there since they redid everything. You can order on kiosk, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then you supposedly take this table marker to your table and they bring the food out to you. That's crap. That didn't happen. The lady was like, "Hey, did you guys order?" Yeah, that was us. So, but anyway, we ordered the adult Happy Meal. Chris got the Big Mac and I got the 10-piece nugget. And yeah, I know, I don't like McDonald's, whatever, who cares? Some of you out there will want to go get the adult Happy Meal. So if you are looking on the stream on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, I will show you the box. And there it is. There's the box. This is the limited edition Cactus Plant Flea Market box. And as you will notice, wow, that looked like a fry crumb. Wasn't me. And if you notice, it's a really big box. It's not as deep as a Happy Meal box, but it's at least I don't know, a quarter bigger than what the normal one is. And here is a toy. I got Birdie, and Birdie is creepy. Let me turn it around where you can actually see her eyes, by the way, if you are looking on the stream. There we go. Creepy Birdie. So we like to do taste tests. We like to go when something new comes out, go check it out. So I will say, if you are going to go get a Big Mac or going to go get a 10-piece nugget, do not pay the extra money to get the adult Happy Meal, because I think you're paying a whole lot of money for a designer toy, which it might be a collector's item. I don't know. We'll find out in a couple years. They were a little more expensive than normal Happy Meals. And no quarter pounder with cheese, Chris, just a Big Mac and just the 10-piece nugget. But so worth the experience to go check it out. I will say we were broadcasting live and there was a businesswoman sitting next to us trying not to pay attention, smirking when we were talking, because Chris is like, "Why aren't you talking loud enough?" And so, Chris is an actor, so he likes to talk loud. So we talked a little bit louder because we didn't get permission.
He likes projection.
He does like to project. And I was watching her watch us just to see if I can make her laugh, which we did. So, I mean, there you go. It was an audience of one. And if you are the fan that was in if she probably wasn't a fan, she probably is now, though, because who can blame her? When two older guys are in there with adult Happy Meals streaming live on Facebook. By the way, that was exclusively on the Upstate Pulse Facebook
She's just saying
page.
under her breath, just like, "Oh God, influencers."
Oh, there was, what there was? There were judging eyes. There were definitely judging eyes, which instead of being offended, I thought was hilarious.
And being you probably just steered right into it and just went further.
I thought it was funny. Because you see someone judging you and you wonder what they actually think. Was she really amused, or was she like, "That guy's got to be at least 50. What's he doing in here with an adult Happy Meal?" But his hair is beautiful. And she's right. It is. So, I mean, there's that. It was, it was an interesting experience, and always good to go hang out with Chris a little bit outside. I wanted us all to go, but I knew how scheduling was that we wouldn't get over there. I wanted to make sure that I went to check it out for you. So anyway, I don't know if I would pay the extra money to go get it if you're considering it, unless you just want it's worth it for me for the looks. I mean, I am the person. Yeah, I know what I say. I want to be seen, but not seen. And so,
you're a paradox.
Yeah, I am a paradox, and that's fine. I'm a paradox and a contrarian. Can you be a contrarian and a paradox? Yes, you can.
Well, both are kind of, or they have. I was going to go for a word that like bridges them together as like a synonym, but I couldn't quite find it.
Matthew, do you have one?
Synonymous with each other.
I don't think there is one. By the way, wonderful conversation going on the Facebook page right now between Facebook and YouTube and the other ones, between Zach and some of the guys, about all the Marvel shows. If you have any comments on anything, we are live on Facebook at 106.3 WORD, the Upstate Pulse, and Lonzo on Word. We are live on Twitter at Lonzo on Word and 106.3 WORD. And we are live on Twitch and YouTube at the Upstate Pulse. Trey says, now I can get a Happy Meal for myself and my daughter. Yeah, you can. See, that's a better angle right there.
Be happy.
That's a better angle right there. You take your kid out and go, I'm going to get you a Happy Meal and I'm going to get me a Happy Meal. And they can say, Daddy, you're getting a Happy Meal too. And it's cool. I'm glad you said that. It would be worth it to take my granddaughter out, get her a Happy Meal. I get one too. And we're both happy, which is the whole point of the entire thing. You're absolutely right. Text line 71307 if you want to be a part of the show. Reminder again, South Carolina Comic-Con Junior tomorrow. I'm going to push this thing. Why? Because they're our sponsor. Hello. And that's why we're going to do that. Okay, so Neil Koloff has chimed in and says, let's talk about wrestling. What you want to talk about, Neil?
When he was a red robe or when he was a black robe?
We did our picks for tonight's Extreme last week, and the loser has to face the Nerf wall, which is more painful than you think. I'm the only one in the room right now that has actually felt the wall. And it can sting, especially when your sponsor, who we just talked about from Borderlands Comics and Games, goes out and specifically buys a rotor gun.
Yes, a belt-fed rotary gun.
Yes, the kind of thing that I believe Jesse the Body Ventura used in Predator.
Just
that
to
thing.
make the entire event more fun for everybody except the person on the wall.
Well, and the cool part about it is that he bought that gun before COVID specifically to bring in and shoot someone here, and held on to it until he could come back in studio. And so he got to do it. It was a lot of fun for him.
I imagine he woke up that day, he just grabs it and just goes, today's the day.
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
He has a look of glee on his face when he does. You know, I just realized this down angle that they have the camera blocks my entire face.
Yep. It's forehead cam.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll have to fix that during the break. I don't know why Tim has, you know what? Tim has it up there for his hair. It must be hair cam.
You know what?
I
bet it is.
didn't even think about that. He's got it up there for his hair. That's just crazy. Let's see. Zach says Brock and Cormier are going to start something in WWE. Oh, for sure. I do believe that Brock is going to that Cormier is going to turn on Seth Rollins, not turn on Matt Riddle. I think he's going to turn on Seth Rollins and help Riddle win. And some people are speculating, well, then Lesnar's going to come in and interrupt or something, and then Cormier is a fan of WWE.
Are you saying Daniel Cormier?
Daniel Cormier is
okay,
special.
I got lost for a second.
Daniel Cormier was announced a couple days ago as a special referee for the fight pit match tonight between Riddle and Seth Rollins. So that's going to be it's going to be interesting to see what Cormier does. He may do it straight down the line. Neil Koloff says comics are fake, wrestling is real. There, I said it. And he's a wrestler, a professional wrestler. Pretty good one.
Yeah.
I haven't got to see him live yet. I've seen it on tape though. And I've seen him in person, and I wouldn't say otherwise because he might hurt me. All right, plenty of stuff to talk about in the next hour, including we're going to get some video games, and we'll talk wrestling if you want to, and AI Takeover.
I know what I'm ready to talk about.
Yeah, I know you are. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Continuing live on all of our streaming. We got a lot of streaming. We do.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe it took me a minute to remember who that was.
Yeah, he's still there. He can still hear you.
I know.
Yeah, he's still there.
By the way,
still
we
there.
forgot about the best part about the werewolf thing. The flaming
the flaming tuba.
The flaming tuba.
Forgot about that. So the werewolf thing, whether you watch it or not, no, you need to watch it just because there's a dude playing a tuba and the tuba's on fire.
Yep.
That's great.
It's part of the hunting ceremony, too.
It's part of the ceremony. I don't know who thought of that.
People were getting entered into the battlefield, the tuba would go off.
Yes. It was so good. It really was. I had forgotten about the tuba.
Wonder if he made it.
Is it too late to cosplay as a flaming tuba player?
No, but I think the fire might be a bit
yeah,
of a
it probably
problem.
would break some sort of code or something, I'm guessing.
You could probably, in that tuba, put a blower in at the top and have that kind of fabric fire type stuff popping out of it. That would probably actually
Not
work.
actual fire, but fabricated fire.
It's not the same, Matt. It's not really on fire.
I'm sorry that you feel the need to be authentic with real fire
It
indoors.
needs to be authentic, Matthew.
That tuba's got to be burning, man.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, I am curious.
I got a fever.
I'm
They write
wondering.
prescriptions.
I'm wondering if that tuba was actually on fire when they filmed it, though. They probably added the fire later.
Oh, I hope it was on fire.
Maybe.
Now I want to see Ohio State's band do something with flaming tubas.
Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. I didn't mean to do that.
So we've been talking about this on the fan.
You can do it,
Believe that Sami Zayn is going to be the end of the bloodline. It's not going to be Logan Paul, although he's questioning who the chief really is, which I thought was a really good angle. But I think Sami Zayn ends it all. It's going to be glorious. That thing's got to end eventually. It does. It's been going on for way too long.
An end to the bloodline?
Although the vintage pictures of Sami Zayn as a young Oos with the other ones is great. It really is.
I've seen
It's one of the things that the internet gets right. Jay is the one trying to take the alpha spot, but we're going to find out that Sammy's been instigating the thing the entire time.
The smartest thing right here.
I don't know why it's funny just to look back and just see you with your hand with some pizza.
Just eating some pizza, man.
He's just eating pizza. Don't make things weird.
I'm not making it weird.
Brain. We are the greatest thinkers this world has ever seen. I have to fuel my entire 3 to 4 points of IQ. It takes a lot of energy.
I
to
feel like
fuel
you have more than
degree
that,
of
but
intelligence.
Yeah, the lowest IQ in the room is right over here. I'm okay with it though. I'm okay. You know. Telemundo.
it's actually me. I just have very high charisma. I can convince people I'm smart.
No, that would be me. Zach, I'm not hating on Sammy. I think it's awesome. It's nefarious. It's underneath. You haven't seen a wolf in sheep's clothing, a smiling while the whole time you're trying to wreck everything. I've just described radio completely.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's a house of cards. House of very loud cards.
The second gun buyback program this year is part of Mayor Sylvester Turner's One Safe Houston initiative. At the last one in late July, more than 800 guns were turned over.
I don't know, Trey. I've been seeing some things with Tony Khan lately that really bother me, and with MJF, even though MJF is the pizza is
It's Little
cheap.
Caesars.
Neil, it's just Little Caesars. So Little Caesars,
It sure does taste like a $5 pizza.
yeah, and the hierarchy of pizza, it's good enough to go buy it because it's
For
cheap.
$5.
Yeah, for $5 for sure.
Also, it's pizza.
It's you can have bad pizza.
You
You
definitely have
can.
bad
You
pizza.
can have some bad pizza. We've had bad pizza here before.
Daggum lunch ladies don't know how to make pizza.
Of course, it's not genuine radio pizza because that has to come from one certain place. That shows up on all live remotes.
Oh,
Go give them a free plug.
okay.
They have dipping sauces. Garlic, I think, if I recall.
Yes.
They have like a pepper on every pizza.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think I sampled this yesterday, right?
I think you meant if you ate that, but that still works. Because I'm thinking you ain't that. You ain't pizza.
You ain't pizza.
You ain't pizza, man. So you ain't that.
You can't eat me.
Wow, Matthew throwing up a wrestling reference. Look out.
Wow. I made the one wrestling reference that everyone that doesn't know about wrestling knows of.
True, but at least you're immersing yourself in the culture like you're dipping your toe.
Yep.
All right, welcome into what used to be affectionately called the third hour nerd hour. It no longer is because it's not third hour; it's only the second hour now. Even though it used to start at 6 o'clock, which would make this the third hour of the show, but it's not the third hour of the show because LexCorp took it away. So send all your vile hatred, whatever, towards his direction. LexCorp at Odyssey.com. I'm curious what would happen if you actually sent an email to LexCorp at Odyssey.com.
I don't know.
Now I need to go try to send an email and see if there actually is if he has an email address. LexCorp. If he doesn't, he should.
It's actually his secret villain.
It'd
account.
be hilarious if sent an email there and it got to him. That would be great. That would be great. It also might be bad for me, but still.
Would you like to explain yourself, Mr. Reitzel?
Yeah, I've been waiting for a certain joke for 8 years. I keep waiting because I have patience. No one understands the kind of patience I have. I will do something that I think is funny, and I will wait and wait and wait till I get the chance. And it may not even be funny at that point, but still I will have accomplished doing what I said I was going to do, including I need to move that stinking camera.
Well, while Dad is moving the camera, I got to say, you have an odd twist of sensibilities as far as you are very patient for jokes. You are not very patient in traffic.
Well,
it's such a juxtaposition.
How many people are there out there that are really patient with traffic, though?
I am.
Good for you. You're the minority here.
Well, I am. I should be patient. I'm a grandpa. That's why I'm supposed to be that old guy going, "Hey, got it at 35 miles an hour. I'm going to get there in about 25 minutes. I'm good."
Well, considering, never mind. I'm not going
to. Yeah. That car won't go that slow.
No, it won't.
Sammy Hagar had a song about that, and he was right. It's a good thing that my car is not standard. I really have some problems. But although with my old arthritic knees, I'm not sure I can handle the clutch that I would have to. Can anyone in this room drive a standard transmission other than me?
Nope. I've never had to drive a manual.
No.
Okay. I
can barely drive an automatic.
Yeah. Well, that's how that goes.
I can barely drive in general.
Yeah. Well, I have.
Here's the thing.
I have nothing.
I liken myself to Obi-Wan in Starfighters. I can't do it, but I hate it the entire time.
There we go. You know what I hate? You know what I absolutely hate?
Shall we play a game?
Oh.
I think I missed him.
Yeah.
We'll see if I get flagged because I'm leaving this where it can be on the stream. So.
How about global thermonuclear war?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
You wanted to know what the Matrix is, Neo?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
3 billion human lives ended. The survivors of the nuclear fire called the war Judgment Day. They lived only to face a new nightmare, the war against the machines.
All right, so anyone who's listened to this program for any point of time, you know that I am the voice in the wilderness, shouting, screaming till my voice bleeds about the oncoming apocalypse.
How does your voice bleed?
It just did right there. That's why I had trouble with the words. It was painful. I am Woody Harrelson on the mountaintops before the mountaintop gets ready to explode and he's vaporized. That is me.
With the sickles.
Yes. Which look delicious, by the way. I keep saying, you know what? We're in trouble. And normally, and I was looking forward to this segment because T2 would have been here and he represents the synthetics, the robots. He and his counterparts, Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show. They both are pro robots. They don't
cyber enthusiasts.
Yeah, they don't see that. I think they might actually be robots themselves. They don't see that there could be a problem. Well, I was on my way to work yesterday listening to
Rob Brown has the volume knob turned off.
Yes, he does.
It's broken.
Yeah, I was on my way into work yesterday and I heard Lee Rogers tell a story that I was like, see, and I was compiling some stories each week. I usually get pretty worked up about. I'm going to try to stay calm about this. I really am. But I really want you to listen. I want you to heed. I want you to prepare. How do you prepare? A bunch of analog stuff. I mean, like on what was it? Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, where they just used a bunch of analog stuff like analog tape and like old-fashioned radio or old-fashioned everything that's not digital or computerized. It might be the only way you survive. It might be. And all you people are out there who have completely automated your home, where you say, Alexa, do this. Alexa, do that. Or hey, Google, do this. You guys might be in trouble. All right. So let's see how many of these go. 2, 4, 6, 7 robotics companies have pledged that they will not allow their robots to be weaponized because, they don't want to, including, let's see, Boston Dynamics is one of those. I want to make sure that I mentioned one that you guys would know. So they don't want their robots to be used as weapons. And some of the naysayers, oh, you never use a robot as a weapon. Robot was, and here's what it comes down to. I had a wonderful conversation with Lee Rogers about this. So
did Newt Gunray also talk about this too?
He might have. He's out there somewhere. Roger. What I said was, here's what you do. You look and you go, okay, drones are effective. We don't have to put people in planes. We can send robots out there to do the fighting, and that will save human lives. That's going to be, and it's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's preservation of the species, and I completely get that. I completely get that. They're like, okay, so eventually wars are going to be robot wars. So here's the problem.
It just turns into an online video game.
It does. And well, just like with drones, there's someone flying those, and those guys are gamers.
This is when
They
this is the
absolutely
turn
are.
of the century. This is when the gamers rise.
Exactly. But here's
Katie knows who have Halo experience, who
But
have
here-
played many FPSs.
here's the problem. So the robots are out in the field, they're fighting each other or fighting the enemy. Let's say you're worried about someone hacking in and getting control of your fleet of robots or army of robots or whatever you're calling them. So the best thing to do is to have a fail-safe in the robots controlled by AI, because that way they can't be hacked because the AI is constantly fighting that off. And at some point, if you lose contact with the robot, how will it complete its mission? Well, with artificial intelligence, of course, because you put that in there. And how could that possibly go wrong? There's no way that could go wrong. It's just a fail-safe, and you're saving human lives, and everything's going to be okay. So this is an actual thing. This is not me making things up. This is an actual thing.
I made the joke about Newt Gunray and the Trade Federation before, but if you make the robots that stupid, I think it might actually work out better.
Well, no, the robots will probably be along the lines of Cyberdyne. So in an open letter to the robotics industry and our communities, general purpose robots should not be weaponized. We are some of the world's leading companies dedicated to introducing new generations of advanced mobile robotics to society. These new generations of robots are more accessible, easier to operate, more autonomous, affordable, and adaptable than previous generations, and capable of navigating into locations previously inaccessible to automated or remotely controlled technologies. Right there. So right there, if you read into that, they're not going to be remotely controlled. And I didn't notice that when I read this before. So yeah, they're already going to have AI installed. We believe that advanced mobile robots will provide great benefit to society as co-workers in industry and companions in our homes. As with any new technology offering new capabilities, the emergence of advanced mobile robots offers the possibility of misuse. Untrustworthy people could use them to invade civil rights or to threaten, harm, or intimidate others. One area of particular concern is weaponization. We believe that adding weapons to robots that are remotely or autonomously operated, widely available to the public, and capable of navigating to previously inaccessible locations where people live and work raises new risks of harm and serious ethical issues. Weaponized applications of these newly capable robots will also harm public trust in the technology in ways that damage the tremendous benefits they will bring the society. Okay, so there's more to it, but I'm not going to read the rest of it. So all you people out there, and one of them is not here with us today, but he would be scoffing probably, they're not going to use robots and stuff for that. There are, including Boston Dynamics, the ones who keep making these robots that can dance and do all kinds of real stuff, are worried that their robots may be used for nefarious purposes. Of course they're going to be used for nefarious purposes. You're saying governments aren't already finding ways to use these robots to do things that we don't know about yet? I'm open to comment from you guys if you guys have any comments, but this is legitimate robotics companies talking about things that I've been talking about and that I've been worried about.
I like when the robot does the silly dance.
No one takes it seriously. No one.
Well, it's one of those things of
should I add you to the likes of the Tims and the Robs?
I mean, with any new technology, especially something like this, there is obviously any opportunity for misuse. I'm not super concerned about.
Hey, I'm not that guy
aspects,
going those motorized vehicles are evil. That radio is evil. That TV is evil. I'm not those guys. I'm legitimately worried. So are they.
Well, what you do is you invest in technology that can counteract any sort of like rogue deviancy from any of the robots, like have something that can easily shut it down.
Yeah, because that always works. Let's pull the plug, no?
I think it's important not to halt advances in technology and things like this, because there are so many benefits that can come from this. That can save lives from taking over some of the more dangerous jobs that some humans do have to do nowadays. But I think also keeping some of these kinds of things and the dangers that they can pose in mind is very important, to keep those fail safes around and develop ways to manage and limit those risks.
Exactly. And that's how you go about progress safely, is you have enough safety nets in place and enough things to counteract any sort of negative effects that could come around.
All right. If you have a comment on this, text line 71307. We have some stuff on the stream. Let's see. Chris says it's coming. Mark says Elon Musk says his robots are more affordable at $26,000. By the way, I'm going to get to that. That's on here too.
It's a lot cheaper than I thought they'd be.
And Trey says the upset.
Like a car. I mean, that's like a car payment.
Well, a cheaper car, like a used car. Trey says the Upstate Pulse might be the only show on Word that doesn't have a commercial that advertises the ability to use Alexa by design. Thank you for noticing that, Trey. I don't want that stuff on my show.
I'll never forget when I was leaving the bathroom while Tim was walking in, and he went, "Hey Alexa," because he was gonna change it to one of the other stations. And as I walked out, I shouted back, "Play Despacito," and it did.
There you go. You are a part of the fun that I started a long time ago.
And I got to do Bryan Adams to Dad.
Yeah, which is
your favorite artist, by the way.
No, it's not.
If anybody would like to, quote their favorite Bryan Adams song and send it into this fine program, I mean, I feel like that would make.
I will say one of the things that Rob Brown says, it's one of my favorite things that he says. Rob Brown from our brother station, the Fan Upstate, says Canada is America's hat. And I just think that's funny. Let's see. Mark on the stream says Daleks, Cybermen, Terminators, battle droids. It's not like the warnings aren't out there. That's the entire point. That's that. And Chris says the next step is cyborgs. I heard Tim actually talking about cybernetics with Charlie. Of course, how that. Speaking of Elon Musk's next big project is a robot, and it will be revealed soon. The robot prototype, dubbed Optimus, will be unveiled by Tesla next during the company's
That
AI.
already happened.
Did it? Okay, because
Yes,
this is an
that was
older
like last
story.
week.
This is an older story. So he wants to have a robot in every house, which, if you watch the Jetsons, that's okay. If you watched I Am Robot, it's not okay. So it just depends on which way it goes. So it could be good and it could be bad.
Come on, Dad. It's not like we live in a dystopian world.
Here's what they're going to do. They're going to take it. By the way, Lee Rogers also told me I should watch Westworld, which I just haven't watched. But
I've also been.
But apparently it has a lot to do with this kind of stuff.
Be very triggering for you.
So here's what they're going to do. First, the people who are going to buy the robots are going to be the lonely people the people who don't have a lot of friends.
I already got mine on order.
Of course. And then it's going to go from there to, someone's going to go, hey, is that a robot? Well, yes, it is. And they're going to have a conversation. And I've got to have me one of those. Before you know, there's a robot in every house. Yeah, I know there's a refrigerator in every house, a TV, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. That's fine. You can have a robot in your house, not in mine, though. Plus, I can't afford $2,600. Well, I wouldn't do that anyway, because I am totally against the AI and what's going to happen. Speaking of AI, Bruce Willis has sold his visage to an AI company so he can continue to be in movies, even though he has a disease where he's not going to be able to talk anymore. But now you're going to see Bruce Willis in future movies because he's going to be an AI Bruce Willis. So now I'm picturing all those robots that are going to be killing everybody. They're going to be Bruce Willis, or they're going to look like Bruce Willis and they're going to have the voice of James Earl Jones, who sold his voice rights to an AI company so that Darth Vader's voice can continue. So they're going to look like Bruce Willis. They're going to sound like Darth Vader, and they are going to kill us all. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse.
March.
You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
Did you turn me off?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I got scared that I was off that whole time.
I was upset that we got stepped on.
You didn't get stepped on.
Yeah, you did.
Your
Yeah,
toe.
you did.
Maybe like your pinky toe.
It was a perfect
It
out.
wasn't a full. It wasn't
Perfect
a full
out.
step on.
You don't talk on a perfect out, Cameron.
Look, if it was a step on, I just merely stepped on
If
your.
you worked here,
It was a
if
grazing.
you actually worked here,
Glad you're not my boss and complaining about
look
me
at the
leaving.
non-radio person stepping on radio toes.
he was born in radio, almost.
Molded by it. I didn't know what internet podcasting was until I was a man. I'm also really good at jujitsu.
Can't see it, but my water's leaking, so to speak.
It would appear that your temper is boiling over. He's staring me down.
No, I was just looking that direction. Luckily, it didn't leak on any of the equipment.
That would have been
I
bad.
also would not be working in radio.
Well, he had a good 20-something years.
In case you didn't think it leaked enough.
Oh, no, I saw.
Yeah, it was a bunch.
I was watching the leakage. I observed the leakage.
Ooh, Demon Seed. That sounds like a cool movie to check out.
You know what else might be a cool movie to check out?
What would that be?
That would probably be the movie that we saw a trailer drop for this week that we still need to talk about.
Right, which is
Yes.
in the Nerd Roundtable. If you look at it, it's
Yes.
in the Nerd Roundtable. But it's not time for the Nerd Roundtable yet.
I still want to talk about
I
it.
guarantee you, we're getting to it, okay? I'm not going to do that tease thing where I don't get to it. We will get to it.
You're talking about Violent Night, right?
Of course he is.
Yeah,
No.
that's exactly what he's talking about. Why would he talk about anything else? Nothing else dropped.
No, of course not.
You're giddy right now.
No, he's just waiting to get on the air so he can slam somebody. That's all.
I just want to talk bad about Chris Pratt on air.
See? I know what he wants.
It's never good when you hear the goblin giggle.
But it's not for a political reason either.
No, it's
yeah,
just.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's solely a voice acting thing.
yeah, I mean, they could have gotten the original Mario. Why didn't they do that? It doesn't make
Because
any
he's
sense.
not a name that'll sell tickets.
Because he's an older guy, and and Chris is not. So you keep a younger guy around so he can
It's
continue doing the part.
It's the same thing that they've been doing for. We can talk about it in the Nerd Roundtable, but
we absolutely can.
What? I thought we were just going to talk about it now.
Well, it's
Oh,
not
wait, I thought
time
that was-
yet. Do we have any texts?
No, we haven't gotten a text in like an hour.
That was weird. Someone send a text to 71307 so we can make sure it works.
Just say hi.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel lonely.
I just want to make sure it's not broke or that Matthew's just like
Matthew, you
doing
don't
it
have
wrong.
to be lonely.
You sure you have it upright?
Yeah.
Yeah, you too can buy a
At
robot.
robotsonly.com.
I don't think that would sound that way, but
At robotsonly.com.
that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna have to write that. We're gonna have to put that together.
Yeah, we do. Come on down and get yourself a robot wife or girlfriend. I don't know how much commitment you want to put towards the
Could be a
synthetic.
robot dude too. Why is it going to be?
I'm sorry.
Equal opportunity.
I just figured that guys were a little bit more lonely.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm not, but
You send my processors into overdrive.
we got the voice actor for it.
Yes, we do. All right, time to talk a little video games, and then we're going to get to the nerd roundtable because Matthew really wants to get to the nerd roundtable, and I'm going to make sure I'm not doing that thing. I'm going to make sure. Hey, Zach, don't spoil me, dude. Come on, man. I wouldn't do that to you. Don't be spoiling me. I don't want to hear anything about wrestling right now that's going on right now.
So you can always just block him.
No, I'm not block. Are you kidding? You don't block an OG. You take that back. Take that back.
I have no boundaries. You know this.
You need them. You're right. You didn't say what happened, Zach. So, all right. Check text line. See if we got any text when we asked for some.
We
text.
did get a
Okay,
text
all right,
a
so
minute
it's
ago
still
saying
working.
hello.
There we
I'm
go.
not lonely anymore. I have a text friend.
There we go. There we go. Yes, Mark. We're going to talk about that too in the roundtable too. But first, we're talking video games. Hey, we're staying on. We played the intro, so we got to talk about it. So that's how that works. I do appreciate you guys' passion for wanting to talk about what you want talked about. I'm not doing that thing where I tease and I don't get to it. We're absolutely going to get to the things.
I think he's doing that thing.
I am not. If I were to do that, you'd be able to see right through me because I'm not a good actor. I think everyone knows that. Not a good acting bone in my body. I just don't have any. All right, video games.
I was translucent as a wall.
Yeah, what he said. A couple of things in video games. By the way, I've been playing Assassin's Creed a bunch, Odyssey, because it just dropped on Game Pass and is one of the biggest maps I've ever seen. I think it is the biggest map ever for an Assassin's Creed game. But I have this problem, and I have to admit to this problem, and I've admitted this many times. I don't understand why I have trouble with pigs. I don't. No matter what game it is, it's a stinking pig. All right, there's a pig on this thing that you have to fight, and the thing will run up on you and turn its butt towards you and will shoot out gas, poisonous gas. I died like 35 times because he kept turning his butt to me, breaking wind, and you die from it. It's just not right. It's not. So not only am I
such overwhelming power.
Yes. Oh no, it knocks you back. It does. You're right.
Oh, that's
No,
actually
it
hilarious.
knocks you back. Yeah, it'll be funny for anybody else.
Can we calculate the pressure off of that methane?
Yeah, he's a big pig. I don't know what he's been eating, but so anyway.
When I was a young warthog.
So it's to the point where I just killed. These are like mythical animals, and I killed like a bear and a ram and a lion and all these things, and I struggled with the pig to the point where I went up 4 levels, came back, and still got gassed to death. Why do I struggle with pigs? So I'm
It
curious.
just sounds like a skill issue. I'm going to be honest.
It probably is a skill issue. Thank you, Matthew.
Oh dang! You
hurts.
just get
That
good
hurts.
scrub.
But he's no. I think it's in my head. I don't think it's skill at all.
I think it is definitely in your head.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
It's definitely just
You just see a pig. It's just like no.
Yeah. Well, you've seen it.
Yes. Which, by the way, if you want to look up Pappy and the Pig, there is a fun 5-minute clip of just a boar kicking the crap out of Pappy and Dad's character Leroy.
Oh, you showed me this before.
Yes. That's
Yes.
it. That thing happens anytime. If I hear, I'm like, oh no. No matter what game I'm in, whatever game. No, I out loud say, oh no.
There it is.
If I hear a snorting pig in any game that I'm playing, because I know my character's in trouble.
It's like Pappy and alligators. It's
So by the way, if you are a gamer, and there's a good shot if you're watching or listening to the show, you are a gamer. Is there an animal or something in a game, no matter what the game it is, that always seems to have your number to get you? Or is it just me? Am I the only one who has this problem? By the way, I killed that pig. I want you to know.
I'm proud of you.
I should have took a picture afterwards, but there was a cloud of stank above it after you killed it, and I don't want to get too close to it. So yeah, I killed it, and it didn't end up well as far as the mission went. Afterwards, after I killed all the mythical, I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to spoil, even though the game's been out for a really long time. So really upset about that, to the point where while trying to kill this pig, I broke my controller. So
How
because
did you break your controller?
well, as Cameron has pointed out, I broke the left bumper is for
Right
light
bumper.
is the right bumper. Thank you. Is for it's got pigs on the brain. So the right
Are
bumper.
they in a blanket?
No, they're under a death shroud. I hate pigs. So the right bumper is used for light attacks. And then Cameron pointed out that Elden Ring did the same thing, and I forgot.
And you played that a lot this
of,
year.
Yeah.
A lot of action games do that. Yeah.
I wish, and here's the thing that I wish, as someone who games way too much, probably, I wish that most games would allow you to map your buttons. Because that would be
A
that
lot
would
of
be
games
nice.
do.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of games do, but not all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it should be standard that all games allow you to map your buttons so you can put things where you're most comfortable with. And I will tell you, if I can map my buttons, the least used button would be the bumpers because they have the least amount of flexibility. And I think I don't know this for sure, but I'm guessing they probably get broken a lot quicker because you can't help but mash them because where they are, the triggers are easier.
Yeah, I've never
got
had
some
issues
play on
with
it.
that, and I've been playing on a 360 controller for over half a decade on Dark Souls
Well,
games.
I'm just guessing, Matthew, that you don't play angry like I do.
I mean, I guess I don't play as angry as you, yeah, but
I can-
I don't think that I'm very
Uh,
light with my
I will tell
controllers.
you, 2 out of 3 people in this room have broken their controllers.
No, I've never broken a controller. I don't.
Look.
I
we're
don't
not,
even
we're
have
not
Joy-Con
throwing-
drift on my Switch controllers.
That's
somehow.
impressive.
Yeah, and I've had it since for about 4 or 5 years now. So
And just to clarify, by breaking the controller, he means the right bumper.
Yeah, he also broke his right bumper.
Which I fixed.
Yeah, so I was bringing this up.
oh,
The other reason why I was bringing this up is a lot of times when you break something like that, like on a Xbox Series X, the first thing you think is, man, I got to buy a new one. And I don't really want to buy a new one. And they tell you not to take them apart because if you do, you mess up the warranty, but you're not going to use the warranty to replace it anyway. Most people won't. So it turns out that my son had already broken a controller and ordered a bumper and repaired it. So went down to his house. We opened mine up to see if it was indeed broken, and it was just about broken, and then I broke it. So
it's just like,
yeah.
man, this is really flimsy.
it was hanging on a thread, and then the thread broke. So he has ordered me a bumper, so we're going to replace it. So if you break your controller, you probably can fix it. So don't doubt
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
If you're going to throw it away anyway, why not take the thing apart and see if you can fix it? And apparently, are bumpers the only thing you can buy, or can you buy just about anything?
You should
You
be
can
able to
buy
buy
just about
most
anything.
of the components.
Yeah, there you go. So it's not going to cost $10 for a bumper replacement, which is a lot cheaper than buying a full-on controller.
Oh yeah.
All right, so a couple more things on video games, and then we're going to hit the nerd roundtable before someone hurts me. So I have this problem. I have this friend who always seems to message me right when I'm getting ready to get off a game to ask me to play another game.
Oh, I know that feeling.
So, and I know that if I jump on the game with him, first of all, he's going to whip my butt at everything because that's his joy in life. And to a certain degree, I don't mind so much. As long as I'm having fun with a friend, and if it makes him happy to make me look like a noob, okay. You know,
I
I'm
know
down.
the friend you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you absolutely know the friend I'm talking about. So, he actually used to be on the airwaves here. A lot of people know who that friend is. So, so he messages me right as I'm getting off the air. So what is the proper way to do? Should I have messaged back or just go ahead and turn the game off? Which is what I did, because if I start playing with him, it'll be 2:00 in the morning.
It's like the gaming version of the Irish goodbye.
Yeah, it'll be 2:00 in the morning if I jump on there, and I feel bad for saying no to him, especially considering the game looks like it's pretty cool. I think it's like
Chivalry 2,
Chivalry 2. How'd you know?
because he asked me to do the same.
Did he?
I
What-
talked to you about this, didn't I?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he messaged me and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. I was in the middle of a raid on Destiny, or else I would have downloaded it and joined him.
Yes.
I actually downloaded it.
It looks like a cool game, by the way. It really does. You can be on horseback and take people's heads off.
You
with,
know that Mordhau game
Yeah.
that I played? It's just like that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And I'm guessing he and I would not be on the same team. He just wants.
No, he would.
Okay, so you
More
don't
than
think
likely you could just party up and then
you don't think he wanted me on there to slaughter me?
No.
Yeah, you know who we're talking about.
I do know who
You
you're
don't think
talking
he
about.
wanted? You don't think he wanted
This
me
is
on
one
there?
of this is one of those it's not a fighter game. it's one of those games that you can actually party up with your friends and then go.
So you are fighting the other army,
Yes.
and can you win?
Yes.
I mean, or is it you just like win around?
No. You just, or what do you mean? Define winning.
All right. According to the trailer, you can go to, I think, is it a Chinese army, I think, or something? You haven't watched the trailer? They invade your place, so you go
Are
to
you
their
talking
place.
about For Honor, or are you talking about
No,
Chivalry?
I'm talking about Chivalry.
So
don't question me that way. I just said I watched the trailer
Okay.
after he asked me if I wanted to play it. I watched the
you
trailer.
don't need to get offended.
I'm slightly offended because it's ageism and you need to stop that.
I
So
apologize
anyway,
for sliding you,
there
my senior.
there we go.
Well, what I will say is basically how those games kind of work, and I'm just going off of memory here. You have things that have like several different set objectives, like you can siege a castle and do all that stuff. Maybe it's like killing a commander or something like that, or it's just a death match and you try and get as much points as you can. So that kind of game usually has several different game modes that you can go through and have a variety of different ways.
Okay, so person who I'm talking about, if you're listening, catch me maybe tomorrow or something, and I'll try to give it a shot. Possibly like tomorrow evening.
After we get home.
Yeah. Tomorrow evening, like
SC Comicon Jr.
like around
SC Comicon Jr.
like around 8:00 or something.
11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sorry.
All right, so we're gonna take a break. As we're going to break, though, as music's playing, Matthew, what are you playing right now?
I'm starting a co-op Dark Souls 3 run with a friend.
There we go. Cameron, what you playing?
Stellaris and Destiny.
And I've already told you what I'm playing. When we come back, we're hitting the Nerd Roundtable so Matthew doesn't beat me up. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
I want to talk about the funny Wahoo man.
The funny what thing?
The funny Wahoo man.
Can you do a Mario impersonation? Sort of.
As much as anybody can.
I didn't step on, did I?
Cameron. It was one time, dude.
Okay.
It was one time.
That was a legitimate question.
I
thought I could do a funny.
One segment is more serious than the other.
We've been serious in the show.
We're still on stream. I will talk to you on the way home.
No, I get what you're
And
saying.
you're fine. You're not in trouble. Like you could be anyway.
I was about to say I am like 28 and I have a house.
All right. Imogene says, I was about to say exactly that. I bought the Blu-ray of Demon Seed just last week as a result of family discussion about robots. I think it was from 1978 and is very relevant now. It will make you think about it long after watching it. I call that affirmation.
Well, the other thing is it's always good to talk about these sort of things and the pitfalls of it, but also the benefits of it. It's like anything else. You have to find a balanced road to get to where you want to go.
Yep.
Look at you waxing philosophic.
It's almost like it.
You can get that from me. I like sports and dogs.
I am the son of a jock.
Sports
Son of a sportsman.
and dogs.
Certainly not a Renaissance man or Renaissance man.
I don't know any Renee. I like sports and dogs.
Please don't make this a thing.
And dogs.
Stop.
All right, welcome into the Nerd Roundtable where we get nerdier. It is possible. Absolutely is possible. Really quick on stream, Mark says, bring silent but deadly to a whole new level. Sorry, couldn't resist. Here's the thing, though. It wasn't silent. There's a noise before the gas is released by the stinking pig.
Before or after?
No. it's too late. When you hear the noise, you can't get out of the way. That butt turns quick.
When you hear the gurgle, you know it's over.
It's just like he turns, there's the sound, and you are poisoned, and your life goes down quick. It's and there's nothing like there's a thing where you can replenish your life. I forget exactly what it's called, but you're watching the meter go up as you're watching your life go down, and it never works out to where you can push that button in time to come back to life. But anyway, all right. So we are in the Nerd Roundtable where we ask questions and talk about things. I did have a question earlier that we're going to get to, but because I'm getting the evil stank eye from Matthew.
Well, I wasn't right now.
Yeah, but it was going on. You know, I usually get those from other places elsewhere in the building. All right, so the new Mario movie trailer has dropped, starting out with some fiery lava type stuff hitting the ground, and then the ship lands, and then out comes Jack Black in all his glory,
doing a really solid Bowser voice.
So I've said many times, I'm not a big Nintendo guy, but I did play several of the Mario games when they first came out because Nintendo was it for a little while until it started getting some more competition. I think when Nintendo came out, so did Sega at the same time. I was more of a Sega guy because I could afford a Sega. And it's the same thing, just like life now. You can afford one system, you gotta pick one, and I pick Sega. So, but I'm well aware of all the things, including the live action Mario movie, which I'm sure that Matthew is a big fan of.
Oh, absolutely.
John Leguizamo as Luigi. You did so well. I think it was Hoskins. Bob Hoskins was Mario, and he was also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was the lead in that. So
the live action Mario movie sure is a piece of media that exists.
All right, so Matthew, describe the trailer. Tell us the highs, the lows, and the things that you just don't like.
So I was pleasantly surprised with this trailer because coming up on this, a lot of concerns from a lot of the community online was two main things. One was the casting choices was a whole lot of names and not a whole lot of voice acting experience, which is not something you want to see in an animated movie that needs to succeed. And on the other side was the fact that Illumination was picking it up. And Illumination isn't a horrible animation studio or anything, but they do have a rep for a lot of lowbrow humor in a lot of their movies and cutting a lot of costs in their animation, which normally still looks fine for the most part, but you can definitely tell if you care a lot about in-depths of animation where those costs are cut. And a lot of concerns were surrounding those two main things going into this trailer. And they showed that they were willing to put in the work for it. Most of the voice actors did a solid job. I was especially pleasantly surprised by the voice for Toad, really pulling out like some classic Toad kind of squeak in there while still keeping it at a level that's okay. I don't have to hear my ears bleeding for the entire movie, which was pretty solid. The only thing, and the designs all looked solid, fantastic. My only gripe design-wise was slightly with Mario, like his eyes were a little bit smaller.
So you're not going to complain about Mario's butt? Because that's been
I don't care about Mario's butt.
That's been a thing online about Mario's butt.
A joke.
It's no, because
are people unironically
yes,
complaining about that?
People
I haven't seen every time that I've seen those complaints. I thought it seemed like it was meant as a joke.
Oh no, they're serious. They're serious about.
They were not being facetious.
So go ahead if you want to Google Mario's butt. Don't do it
put that in your Google search history.
Don't do it on a work computer though. It'll probably be bad.
My one major gripe, though, with the trailer was exactly what I expected it to be, and that was with Chris Pratt. His voice for Mario, it's just Chris's normal voice.
All right, so we didn't hear enough of the voice, though.
I absolutely did.
You think so?
I completely disagree with that because in that trailer we heard. I will say we didn't hear a lot of lines, but the variety of lines in that scene showed us exactly what we needed to see. Specifically, those more softer, contemplative lines where he's, coming in. He's like, "What is this place?" And he doesn't do anything other than his normal voice for that. And hearing him doing that specifically shows that he can't put on, or he's either can't or isn't trying or willing to put on a real voice for the variety and full range of voice acting that you need to put in for this. And I'm not saying that Chris is a bad voice actor in general. He's shown that he's a solid voice actor in like the Lego movies, for example. But my thing is just the fact that he's miscast. He is not the voice that should be put on Mario.
All right. I see this as a case, and this it may not be true, but I see this as a case of someone being a fan, and I've seen a lot of other people complain about this too, of a certain voice, and then they hear someone who's cast and they just don't like it right away. You were probably unhappy right away when you heard it was him, right?
I was unhappy with a lot of the casting, but I was pleasantly surprised. I'm very much willing to accept a good performance.
So when something is redone or done in this form, do you think they have to attempt to sound like the source material?
I don't think they have to specifically sound exactly like the source material. Now, to a degree, Mario has had the same voice for several decades now, and there
actually
should be
it's been the same guy, I think. So
yeah, Charles Martinet has been the voice of Mario since '92, I believe. So it's for a very long time. So finding some degree of that familiarity is definitely, I think, important to be true to the character, but finding your own take on it is also completely valid to do. Like Sonic's voice, for example, is very different from how he sounded in the games, in the live action movies, but a fantastic job was done on that, and he sounds great there. I don't really have much issue there. My issue is just the fact that Chris is not really doing anything other than his normal voice. He's not finding the right kind of matching voice for a character like Mario. And not to mention, Mario is from Brooklyn. Maybe you should do a Brooklyn accent.
All right, so if this is a perfect movie,
Mario actually from Brooklyn?
Yes.
I thought he was like Italian.
He's Italian American.
Okay, because I
so my other question about Mario, just in general, is he actually from Earth, or is he like from the Mushroom Kingdom?
It varies game to game, and like the original like manuals from the games in the 80s, yeah, he was like from the real world, and he like went through a pipe and ended up in the Mushroom Kingdom,
which is what it looks like this is going to be, that he's coming from the real world.
The Mario movie's an isekai.
I heard an accent, by the way. You're saying you didn't hear one, and I heard one.
He remembered that Mario was from Brooklyn in the last half of the last line.
All right, so here's what I hope. I hope that this movie is so good that Matthew can give it a positive review.
Oh, I think from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be fine, and my main issue is just going to be that Chris Pratt is talking like Chris Pratt.
All right, I hope he has a better accent than what you believe he's going to have, because I heard hints of it, and I don't think we got enough of the dialogue, and I also think sometimes, a lot of times now, trailers lie. So, I mean, there could be that too. And there could be also screenings, early screenings where people are unhappy with the voice and they go back and redo it.
Oh yeah. And that's very possible.
Because it's voiceover and
they spoke Chris Pratt. More Italian.
Yes.
Now.
You're not Italian enough.
To be fair, with voicing stuff, that would be very difficult to do for the entire movie, to redo that, because normally you record the voices and then animate over that voice to keep it as close to how your delivery is and everything.
Well, I think you can have the same delivery without with a different accent, but I get what you're saying. All right. Let's see. There was another trailer that came out that some people have mentioned on the stream, and that would be the Violent Night trailer. And I want to tell you, when I first saw what this was, without seeing what it was, I'm like, man, I don't want to watch this. I've seen movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and there was a movie where Bill Goldberg was Santa Claus. There've been a lot of movies where
Spear
where Santa Claus is a bad guy. Well, it turns out in this thing, it actually is Santa Claus. It's not an escaped convict who just steals a Santa suit and goes on the spree.
Who would do that?
That would be Silent Night, Deadly Night, which was very interesting. At least I think it was a convict, or it was a guy. He might have escaped from a mental hospital. Yes, exactly. Not that guy though. Although he could have did that. Billy Bob Thornton, he probably could have. He might have. Actually, I think he was Bad Santa, which I never watched just because it wasn't
not our kind of movie.
Yeah, not. So this is the guy from it's a Russian dude. It's the guy from Stranger Things. It's the guy whose name
Jim Hopper. It's David Harbour.
David Harbour. There we go.
I don't know why I immediately went Jim Hopper.
It's David Harbour, who is actually Santa Claus, who is going to, according to the trailer, he's out doing his thing, and it turns out this kid is the family is basically kidnapped, and there's like $1 million or something in the vault, and they want to get them, and then Santa Claus comes in and basically goes
Santa does a Die Hard.
He goes Die Hard, but he's Santa.
Die Hard.
It looks pretty good, and especially when they show the effects when he's looking at the naughty list, it's actually he pulls it out and it's all digital, and you can see, yeah, it's probably going to be well done. I doubt it's going to do real well at the theaters, but you never know. All right, that's all the time we have for the roundtable because we need to take one more break. We come back, lightning round. We squeeze in as many things as we possibly can in the last couple minutes of the show. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD.
Yeah, stop myself.
It's in your head now. Stop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let it go. We were late.
Gotcha. It's been a while since I've done the tango. I step on toes all the time.
That can be taken a lot of ways. So
I got to remember that. Yeah, I kind of thought about that as soon as I said it.
yeah, it's
Not like that. Now I got Careless Whisper stuck in my head.
thank you, Chris. We're doing our best.
No.
Look at that Clemson score, 3-3.
Come on, Boston College. I want to see some unhappy people on Monday.
You know, all I really care about is the spread because I don't want to face. Well, I won't face the boo box.
You won't.
So it does. But if Clemson could still win as long as they don't win by a certain amount, and then I win the whole thing, and Rob Brown has to face the boo box.
Yeah, but what's more important, Clemson losing or Rob Brown facing the boo
That's
box?
a tough question, right?
It's
now.
one of those moral quandaries.
It's a tough question. It really is. I especially hope that your mom says to behave, by the way. I
I told her no.
I especially hope that not only does Rob lose, that he picks the having to sing a song after I had to do what I had to do,
Mm-hmm.
but he actually has to play it and sing it.
Really?
He'll kill it though. He'll kill it. Because
Oh, yeah.
if you play and sing, you're going to pick a song that you can. Well, no, he doesn't get to pick the song. Never mind.
No, you picked the song for him. I was about to say, if you got to pick the song, you would have picked the song that you could,
Oh, I already told him I was going to pick a hymn. He's not into that. So
Oh, yeah.
Take that, Rob.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Is it worth it to get someone to sing Amazing Grace just because it will bother him to sing Amazing Grace? And how hard would that be to play on the guitar? It shouldn't be too hard.
It's Amazing Grace. It's very simple and very.
No. It'll be How Great Thou Art. More vocal range there with How Great Thou Art.
Are you sure that's the hymn version, or is he just talking about you?
Well, Elvis also sang it. So, I mean.
Is Rob going to wiggle his pinky?
Oh, he can't sing it as somebody else. Because if we could sing it as somebody else, I would have killed that REO Speedwagon. Because I might have did it as Elvis. My Elvis is all right.
That's actually a great idea.
It's got to be something that has vocal ups and downs. I'll Fly Away is too steady. It's got to test his voice.
Yeah, because I'll Fly Away only just goes up, which is fitting. Or Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
No,
That's something he'd probably like.
it's also steady.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, believe it or not, we are nearly 2 hours in and nearly done with this here fine program. Before we try to squeeze anything in, I want to remind you that tomorrow is South Carolina Comicon Junior. Really excited to be going to this. Man, I hope I find so much stuff that I go, I don't need to eat between now and Friday anyway. I can lose a few pounds.
I can hunt.
Yes. I live in the woods. There are deer in my front yard all the time. You know, I don't know how to cook deer, but I'll figure it out. Catch it on fire. What you do? Catch it on fire.
The deer or the forest?
Yes.
No.
All right. So make sure you come out.
I'm conjoined in that.
Yes, you are. Come out. I wouldn't do that to my grandbaby. Come on out to South Carolina Comicon Junior tomorrow. And if you see one of us, make sure you say hi. Or if you see all of us, you never know. We might be like grouped together. It's a possibility. Cameron and I probably will be. Matthew possibly also.
I'll be hanging around. I'm gonna be going through every single store that I can there.
Which is what we do. Now, our method usually is to go all the way through once and then go back and buy what we want.
Yeah, that's normally how I do it. Unless I see something that like, oh no, I need that.
Yeah, unless it's absolutely something that, man, someone's going to buy that before me.
Like a giant dragon skull.
No one bought that until, that was there forever, and then you went back and got it. It looks good, though.
It does.
Yes, you can buy a giant dragon skull. At least you've been able to in the past. You've also been able to buy swords, and if you're into anime, you can buy actually anime books and plushies. Although sometimes the people at the anime plushie stores are, if you're not
enthusiastic plushie salesmen.
If you're not into that, you might be creeped out, like my daughter was. It's like
anime books. Do you mean manga?
Damn anime books.
I'm talking to people who may not understand what manga is, but thank you for the correction. So the anime plushies, this girl just like hugged them. They're so cute and I love them so much. And my daughter's like, yeah, I'm not into that. But so if you're really into stuff, that's the way to go. Now, you probably will see some cosplays. My wife just brought up furries, and there might be some furries there.
A wonderful listener base for the Upstate Pulse.
Come on now. Furries get a bad rap. And furries are a fan of the Upstate Pulse. And so are people who cosplay. So, which furries are cosplaying. So, to a degree. So you may come out, and I'm always interested to see who is the most popular anime going right now, because you can usually tell by how many cosplayers are of that thing.
Is there going to be a bunch of barefoot firefighters?
Maybe. Is that what's big right now?
It's just a reference to Fire Force. But
okay. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like that was clever, but we can move on.
Well, because I don't know what it is, so it doesn't help. But someone out there did.
I know Fire Force.
It was for Matthew.
I know Fire Force.
I'm familiar with it.
Chances are there's not going to be a lot of people there who celebrate food wars. At least let's hope not.
Oh, God, no.
But I'm guessing maybe some My Hero. What was the one that was really big last year?
My Hero's back to probably
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
we saw a bunch of that
a lot
before.
Of those cosplays. Probably a lot of Genshin Impact cosplays, because that's just been crazy popular to cosplay since it came out.
It's going to be some of those where I recognize that, and others where I go, hey, Cameron, what is that? I don't know what that is. But anyway, we'll be there. I know we didn't get to any other stuff, but I just wanted to tell you that I'll tell you really quick. The rumor out there is some leakers are saying that Henry Cavill is in Black Adam. We'll see. We'll see. I hope so. There's also a rumor out there that he's just signed a deal to play Superman some more. I'm a fan of Cavill as Superman, so looking forward to that. Also, Harrison Ford, the rumor out there is he might sign to be Thunderbolt Ross.
I feel like he'd be a good one.
Yeah,
I think he would do a pretty good job.
He's too old though, so you're going to be asking him to do it once or twice, and then he'll be done. Well, all his characters he kills off anyway. So there you go. All right, thank you for listening to the Upstate Pulse. We will be back next week. Check us out tomorrow at South Carolina Comicon Junior, and come on out and buy some stuff and have some fun. All right, there is a wrestling premium live event going on right now, so we're going to jump out of here really quick. Say goodbye, Matthew.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye.
Thanks to everybody who was on here participating. Have a good time. We'll be back next week. See you tomorrow, South Carolina Comic Con. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.